Hello Fable fans, welcome to my trailer breakdown for the forthcoming new Fable game in 2025. There have been 3 trailers so far, well, 1 teaser and 2 trailers to be specific, and I'm going to share my opinion on these now in order of release. The first thing I see, this game is made by Playground Games. They're a British game developer known for the Forza Horizon series. Now I don't play racing games, but I have high hopes from them, judging by what I see in the following 3 trailers. I think it's fair to say that they're known for realism, so Fable is taking a turn from its traditional fantasy style of animation and becoming realistic. Some hardcore fans may not like this, but to be honest, I do. This trailer opens with an ethereal atmosphere, and the narrator starts by saying that the world is filled with stories, which is the very reason my channel exists. I love a good story, and I already feel the Fable vibes, but the only thing that actually tells me it's Fable is the guild seal on the pommel of the sword. The fairies may be crucial to the story, as I think I've made a link to them in the newest trailer. I'll let you be the judge of that. Please comment if you think I'm onto something. The trailer excites me with its promise of heroes, villains, fantastical creatures and wondrous places, and then a dark twist to remind us that not all stories have happy endings, which is right up my street, frankly. The trailer finishes on a stunning vista of what I assume is Bowerstone and Fairfax Castle. I note that Fairfax Castle looks slightly different in this teaser than it does in the latest trailer, but then there's more than a year of development in that time, so changes are inevitable, and I'm not going to get hung up on details like that. The narrator now says that our story is yet to be written. This, honestly, gives me goosepimples. Now what I'm calling the Dave trailer. The most obvious thing is that Richard Ayoade has been hired for the role, and that's fantastic. He's current, he's funny, and he's a bit weird, which just fits the whole Fable vibe. His opening line of, "Oh, we're doing this because I was going to make a sandwich." It just feels perfect. It's classic dry humour, and even though this game isn't by Lionhead, I've got a feeling it's not going to disappoint with the humour. I'm curious about the mockumentary style of the trailer, and I suspect it's not going to be in the game, but as a marketing ploy, I like it. Now, Dave goes on to describe heroes in the style of what I hope is going to be common amongst the people you meet. They might like you, dislike you, and in the video, as the protagonist is walking along minding her own business, there's a sly wanker muttered by someone, which just killed me when I saw it for the first time. We're then teased with some fighting scenes, which give us a taste of what to expect. Classic sword fighting and throw in a ball of fire, and they look fantastic. I can only hope the in-game footage is that good. Then, as she's talking to this guy, blink and you'll miss it, he's taken by a Balverine. I've slowed it down here for you. There are a few givens with any Fable game, and one of them sure is Balverines. This tavern scene is a very welcome sign. I hope that means bar games, drunken fun, and note that this fella she stole the beer from is wearing a badge that looks kind of official. Perhaps he's a lawman? Well, we'll see him again later. The next bit I find a little confusing. We see Dave the vegetable enthusiast with our protagonist and another person. They're all the same size, stood next to a giant pumpkin. And yes, chicken kicking! But the next time we see our protagonist, she's much smaller than everything else. So has she been shrunk? Or was Dave shrunk beforehand? Either way, I'm intrigued. Even if it's a play on the giant beanstalk story, which would be a first, bringing fairy tales into the game. Now, to close the trailer, we see the protagonist has survived a trial with Dave, and honestly, I really hope I get to run around a massive house being chased by a giant. That looks so much fun.
Oh,
And now the most polished, most recent trailer with the most valuable information. I immediately noticed that Humphrey is Matt King, Super Hands from Peep Show, which I love. Again, like Richard Ayoade, his delivery is dry, and I think it just fits so well with the Fable vibe. It's interesting to me how they've made the Dave and Humphrey trailer in the mockumentary style. Makes me think they're going to release a series of trailers in this style leading up to the release. Now, in the first image, what I note here is the original Fable guild seal. Personally, I hope this means the new game will be more true to the lore of the first game. The picture behind the mace is that of a woman wearing a red cape, fingerless gloves and holding a staff. This is going to be relevant later. In the second scene here, I speculate that this is dyes. And because it's around the armor, I'm hoping that this is hinting towards a method of modifying and personalizing your outfit. In this scene, we move on to Humphrey. He's wearing a guild seal and has an air of pomposity and arrogance, which surely means at some point in the game, he's going to get humbled. I hope so. Nothing funnier than seeing someone get knocked down a peg or two, am I right? Onto the painting of Humphrey. The only thing I note here is a shield. Perhaps we'll get shields in the new Fable. That'd be a nice introduction. Now,
Cheers.
Humphrey, he takes a slug of beer and throws his mug over his shoulder. Another display of arrogance. Brilliant. Now, I'm wowed by the next scene. This is surely Fairfax Castle and Bowerstone Old Town. And if you look very closely, you can see a small notice board outside of a house. Hopefully this means we can buy and rent properties. I know that's a popular feature for a lot of players, myself included. This to me looks like Bowerstone Old Town, and I see a hanging sign that looks like Odds and Sods. I can't be sure. This is most likely to be a shop, and it goes without saying that there will be trading in the game. And centre right is a notice board where I expect we'll be able to pick up quests. It looks like these on the left might be traders, but this isn't the market square. The buildings are too close together, and if I remember correctly, there's a clock tower and a tavern called the Cow and Corset in the main market square, and then the statue of an unknown hero. Maybe that could be us one day, right? These next two scenes offer insight into the renown mechanic. First, this guy, dressed in an outfit that appears inspired by our hero. He loves the hero and doesn't try to hide his excitement to meet her. Then the juxtaposition of this woman, who tells us about the club she's in that's like a fan club, but we hate you. Again, more classic dry humour. This game's going to be pure gold, I think. Humphrey now makes a comment about chances, suggesting that there will be love interests and perhaps we can start families. Again, another feature loved by many of us, so I hope I'm right on that. Now, this is the second time giant toads have featured in the trailers. I wonder if they're like demon doors or gargoyles. Maybe they'll hurl insults at us, or we'll need to defeat them to unlock secret items or achievements. Humphrey now says, "It's about the choices you make." This is a crucial insight. I suspect that choices will affect how the world develops and not just renown. And then this girl says, "I'm a hero." I think that this is confirmation that we're not the only hero in the land. Kind of like how the Witcher Geralt occasionally bumps into other witches. Sorry if you don't get that reference. Moving on. Anyway, I think that's really cool and I hope to see it. The next scenes I think are showing mission footage which are intended to be emotive. Our hero says, "We thought you could save her," to the lawman seen in the tavern in the previous trailer. Humphrey speaks of life and death as we see said lawman in a cave or dungeon, appearing alone, lost and desperate. And on the left, I think this is Fur. Perhaps the lawman has just slain a beast. Then we see Humphrey looming over a man who appears intimidated, and then a sorrowful and mournful Humphrey saying that some memories really stay with you, showing regret. This may suggest that in-game decisions will be irreversible, adding real jeopardy into the game. This scene shows us a beautiful tree with nests or homes hanging from it. I propose it's the fairies from the first teaser trailer. Then onto a scene reminiscent of Bower Lake. I can't see water, but there is this cottage to the right side of the vista. I can't be sure, I'm just getting Bower Lake vibes. Now a scene which must be the Heroes Guild, and it's noticeably empty. I wonder if the guild has fallen out of public taste, and that we, the protagonist hero, will be able to bring it back to glory. Or maybe it's just lunchtime and everyone's in the dining hall. Humphrey starts talking about a woman, and the footage leads you to think he's referring to the protagonist. This is leading to an intriguing twist, but before that, we get more insight into enemies. This time, a troll, and then what I'm almost certain are hops. And we get a teaser of what looks like a vortex spell, and the bow. So far, no guns, which suits me. There's lots of magic in this scene, which makes me think we'll get weapon imbuements like multi-shot and sub-targeting. Now, it really speeds up here. The scene moves fast, but when slowed down, they're just awesome. We see an execution animation, followed by our character catching an arrow and throwing it back. This is just fantastic. Note that our character now pulls a parasite from the mouth of the troll, whereupon the yellow light fades from its eyes, and the troll is no longer hostile. This gives me hope that you'll have to think outside the box a little bit, and this won't just be a button basher.
Terrifying. So, yeah, I knew this girl once who made all the wrong choices.
Humphrey. She's back.
I'm going to fix it, this place.
And then, full circle, back to the lady in the painting. The actual person Humphrey was talking about. Note the cape, the fingerless gloves, and the staff. Clearly an old adversary, as Humphrey restrains from attacking here. Given that he had a painting in the Heroes Guild, we can assume that she was one of his students. Is this a new character, or is it a continuation of the Blades group? Perhaps even the Queen of Blades? I can only speculate. I'd love to know what you think. Now, to summarise what I've gleaned from these trailers, I feel certain that this is going to be an absolutely killer game, and I genuinely can't wait. It's set to have all the most important features an RPG needs, plus classic British humour. What more do you want? I hope you've enjoyed my take on what the new Fable game will be like. If you can add to the details I've spotted, or correct me if you think I've interpreted something wrong, then please do so in the comments. I'd love to discuss this more. And well done for viewing all the way to the end. I surely deserve a like for that. And if you enjoyed it, then please subscribe for more RPG related content. Thanks very much for watching, folks. Bye for now.
The world is filled with stories of legendary heroes and treacherous villains, of fantastical creatures and wondrous places where nature and magic live in perfect harmony. Not all stories have happy endings. But yours has yet to be written.
Oh, we're finally doing this, are we? Because I was going to make a sandwich. Okay. Let's do it. What do I think about heroes? Well, we've all seen them, haven't we? Swanning about the place with their disproportionately high cheekbones and comically massive weapons.
Wanker.
Roughing up bandits, because they like to rough up bandits, don't they? Living it up with the common folk every single night. On a day-to-day basis, I'd say the true hero's me, someone who's breaking new ground with fruit, with veg, on the agricultural side of things.
Just look at them!
Not wafting around mythical creatures. And that's what they are. Wafters.
Yeah, well done.
You see, I'm not here to slay legendary beasts. I'm here to conquer the vegetable, not a euphemism. Let's face it, the age of heroes is over. This is the age of innovation. This, if you will, is the age of death. One moment. This is awkward.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, right, Jew. So, you want to know all about heroes, do you? Well, you have come to the right place. Because who better to tell you all about them than perhaps the greatest hero of them all? Yeah? There he is, in all his finery. Cheers. I mean, sure, you get your mega fans,
You are like literally my favourite person.
your haters,
It's like a fan club, but we hate you.
your chancers, and the occasional giant toad, for some reason. But it's more than that. It's about the choices you make.
I'm a hero. I should do what I want.
You thought you could save her.
You know, it's your life and death stuff. That's what defines you, doesn't it? Really stays with you. I knew this one hero. I took her in when she had nowhere else to go. Welcome to the most exclusive club in all of Albion. Thought I'd get her out there, make the most of her gift. But you know what it's like when you're young and you have a point to prove. I tell you, this kid, she had it all. The skill, the talent, the power. She was something else, all right. She was terrifying. So, yeah, I knew this girl once who made all the wrong choices.
Humphrey. She's back.
I'm going to fix it, this place. And no one is going to stand in my way.